Alright, buddy, I'm back. I got another WandaVision review for y'all. This week, I'm by myself in my room, in my normal setting. The guest that I was gonna have tonight, it just didn't happen, so you'd hear me talk about it all by myself. So, WandaVision episode 4. Let me give a synopsis of it right quick. This one, episode 3, spoiler warnings. You know, Monica gets shot out at the end, and it shows all these people come around. So this episode expands on that, on our world's side of what's been going on in Wanda's world. So that's kind of the synopsis. It's different. It's the first one filmed like a movie, not a sitcom type. Wanda and Vision are barely even in it. It's mainly Monica and Randall Parks, Jimmy Woo, and then Kat Dennings, Darcy Lewis. It's all of them, and they're working for SWORD. So it's very interesting, very different from the rest. I liked it a lot, kind of. This is the thing though, it kind of shows what's been going on during these 3 episodes. We watched the first 3 episodes, but now you're getting those first 3 episodes from our world's perspective. So it answers some questions, it leaves you with more questions, but the thing, it kind of just makes me mad too, because it's just like a filler episode, kind of like to fill in some of these things. So by the end of the episode, we really haven't gone anywhere, you know what I mean? It's like, this is all stuff that's happened in the past. It's just from like a different view, which I appreciate, but it's also like, I'm really invested on the WandaVision stuff, but I'm sure that this episode has a special place going forward, you know what I mean? It's definitely not the best episode, but it's not the worst episode, but it might be my least favorite. I don't even know what I'm saying. Now I'm gonna just try and go into the episode kind of by what I remember, so it's spoiler warning, because everything in this show has to do with some spoilers, somehow, some sort. So, there's your spoiler warning. This episode opens up very awesomely. It opens up at the end of the blip, where people blip back, like we see like some of it in Spider-Man Far From Home. But this one, Monica is in a hospital chair. She's in a hospital room, like she was taking a nap, like she was visiting her mom in the hospital. So she blips back into that chair, and her mom's not there. So she's going through the hospital, people are blipping out of the air, and blipping back into our reality, I guess. And she's trying to find her mom. She goes to the desks, and the lady's like, your mom died 3 years ago. She's like, you disappeared for 5 years. And she's just like, what? Because she just thinks that she took a nap, you know? So it opens up with that really big sequence, which is awesome, because everyone wants to know more about the blip, right? What happened during the blip, all that type of stuff is really interesting. So it does that, and then pretty much right after that, I think it's just her going to the SWORD headquarters, and we find out that her mom, Carol Danvers' best friend from Captain Marvel, kind of started SWORD, kind of got the ball rolling on it, and there's like a new president of SWORD. We don't see him very much, but I suspect he'll be back, just because the way they introduced him. He basically tells him, hey, there's this project that I need you to go on. He also told her that she's not allowed to fly, that her mom put that, like, people that blip aren't allowed to fly or something. So I suspect by the end of the show, she's gonna end up flying something, because that's the way movies, TV, entertainment works. It's like, oh, you can't do this. And then the protagonist is like, bet. So she goes to meet up at this place, and it ends up being Westview. And then that's where Jimmy Woo is at. And they're talking about some cops, and they're like, yo, Westview don't even exist. So like, you're just kind of like, what? So she goes up to it, she feels into it, and there's like the barrier there. And she kind of like sticks her hand into it. But then the next thing is, they get out a drone, kind of looks like a helicopter. They fly into Wanda's reality, and then it disappears. So that's the parallel between when Wanda found the helicopter. So then they bring Darcy from Thor in, and she's like the technical person. She hooks like all these TVs up, and somehow she gets the picture of what's happening in Wanda's world. So now they're all like, what is this sitcom? And they're like, that's what's going on in there. So now they're trying to figure out how, why. And they're all like, they also see Vision, and she's like, he's dead, right? It's like, he didn't blip, he's dead. And yeah. So Randall Park's character starts writing down questions, and it just feels like Twitter. Why is Vision alive? Why sitcoms? Why this is, it's like, yeah, those are our questions too, bro. So then she figures out a way to talk to her through radio, and then it shows Jimmy doing the Wanda, who's doing this to you, Wanda, can you hear me thing. So that parallels with that, and it also shows them send a guy in a sword outfit down into a manhole, tells him to go down this tube, and he can come out of the manhole. But when he enters Wanda's reality and through the sewer, his suit turns into a beekeeper suit. And then, you know, when he gets up, he looks at Wanda and Vision, and she's like, nah. So then there's the parallel with that. And then they're watching the third episode, and then when Geraldine mentions Ultron, they're like, whoa, like, pause, hold up. She just mentioned Ultron. There's never been like a real world reference in this show. And they talk about it like it's an actual show. Like, oh, what's happening in this episode and stuff like that. It's really funny. And from then on, the screen widens, and we get to go back into episode 3 from when, so then Wanda continues to ask Geraldine, so what did you say about Ultron? And she's like, oh, nothing, Wanda, I'm just your neighbor. And Wanda's like, you are not my neighbor, you're an outsider, you don't belong here, bread stuff. And then it shows Wanda rebuild the house that you've seen in the trailers, and then Vision walks in, and he's like, Wanda, where's Geraldine? And she's like, oh, she had to leave, honey, you know, she had to run home. And you're like, because she's getting creepy. But I guarantee you, that's not the last time you're gonna go in the next 10 seconds. Because then she looks at Vision, and Vision is like a walking dead corpse version of Vision from Infinity War, when Thanos pulls the thing. He's sitting there, and he's like all draped, his head's like tilted. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I jumped. Like, what the heck was that? Like, what? So then you're wondering, is she like toying with his dead body? But also, since he realizes that things aren't right, you think he actually is alive. So maybe she's just remembering. But all that being said, Vision says something about, well, maybe we should leave. And she's like, no, this is our home. And he's like, are you sure? And then she's like, I got everything all under control. And you're just like, she kind of sounded evil. And then it goes back to the real world, where they go to pick up Monica from the end of the third one. And they're like, are you okay? And she's like spazzing, and she's like, it's Wanda. She's like, it's all Wanda. So like, it's just showing you that Wanda's doing everything. So there's like, so you know what I mean? It just builds up suspense, and we didn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, there was no intro, no theme intro in this one, which is kind of lame. There was no advertisement, because this one wasn't a sitcom. So I guess we're gonna get the 80s next week, which is kind of sad, because I wanted it this week, but it's whatever. Oh, they also put up the suspects, like everyone that they've seen in Wanda's show, and they found like their real like IDs. And then Dottie is not even seen anywhere. So like, I don't know why they don't even have a picture of her on the wall. That's really weird. But like, Agnes is on the wall, but they can't find an ID for her. So like, I noticed that. When Jimmy Woo introduces himself to Monica, he flips a card out, because the whole thing with Ant-Man the Wasp is that Scott learns magic, and he does it to Jimmy Woo's character. He's like, man, you gotta teach me how to do that. So it's like, oh, congratulations, you learned your card trick. If I miss something big, comment, and I'll talk about it. I'll give you my thoughts on it, because I feel like I'm missing something. But yeah, that's my review, breakdown of WandaVision episode 4. You can check out the past episodes, episode 3, episode 2, episode 1. Come back next week for episode 5, because I'm so excited for that. I'll see y'all next time.